Seeker, I'm Ghost King, and tonight I'm not just going to show you the wild, I'm going to show you its teeth. In the quiet corners of the world, there are lines you do not cross and creatures you do not approach. I've learned this the hard way, and I'm here to make sure you don't have to. So tonight, I open 3 loops for you. The story of the animal that chased me into a river in the dead of night. The one that watched me from 5 meters away, making no sound at all. And the only time I truly thought I wouldn't make it home. Stay with me to close them. Because understanding these animals isn't just about knowledge, it's about survival. Before we begin this countdown, remember the core principles. These are the rules that have kept me alive. Respect distance. Read their body language. It's a language of survival, and they speak it fluently. Never, ever run blindly. And always, always protect your line of retreat. Now, let's meet the 8 you should never, ever rile up. Number 8. The wild boar. Don't let their common appearance fool you. These are not farm pigs. They are compact tanks of muscle, armed with razor-sharp tusks that can slice through flesh with terrifying ease. I remember a dusk trail in the Ardennes forest. The air was still, the light fading. The only sound was the brittle snap of twigs under my boots. Then, a low grunt. Ahead, a sow with a line of tiny striped piglets. She saw me, and her entire posture changed. Head low, a rumbling growl in her chest. She wasn't just a mother, she was a fortress. I didn't hesitate. I saw a large fallen trunk to my left and scrambled onto it, putting height and a barrier between us. She held her ground, a silent, tense standoff, before finally turning and leading her young away. Every year, hikers and even hunters across Europe and Asia learn this lesson the hard way. A surprised boar, especially a mother, doesn't think, it charges. Your best defense is awareness. Give them a wide berth, never corner them, and if you must move, sidestep to get out of their direct path. Number 7. The Cape buffalo. On the African plains, they call this animal the Black Death for a reason. It's not just their size, which is immense, or their horns, which form a solid, impenetrable shield. It's their memory and their temperament. A Cape buffalo is said to never forget a slight. I was with a guide in the Serengeti when the wind shifted. He froze, his hand up. "Buffalo," he whispered. Through the tall grass we saw it, a lone bull, a dagger boy, caked in mud. He lifted his head, tested the air, and then, in a blink, vanished into the brush. We began to retreat, but my guide pointed. He'd reappeared, 50 meters closer, watching us from behind a thicket. We backed away slowly, using a towering anthill as a shield between us and him. He watched us go, his stare unwavering. They've been known to gore vehicles that get too close and will actively hunt hunters who have wounded them. So, Seeker, I ask you, in that moment, would you hold eye contact to show you're not prey, or would you focus only on your escape routes? The answer could mean everything. Number 6. The moose. They look so placid, these gentle giants of the northern forests, but their size alone makes them a formidable force. An adult bull can weigh over 1,500 pounds. I was driving a snow-muted road in Alaska, the world silent and white. Rounding a bend, I hit the brakes. A cow and her calf stood in the middle of the road, blocking the path completely. I stopped the car, giving them space. But my presence was an intrusion. The cow's ears went back. She lowered her massive head and took a few stiff steps forward. My heart was in my throat as she executed a terrifying bluff charge, stopping just short of my front bumper with a loud snort. I stayed put, engine off, keeping the solid steel of the car between us. In many parts of their range, moose injure more people annually than bears. They aren't predatory, but they are fiercely defensive, especially during the fall rut or when a mother has a calf. The rule is simple. Use a vehicle or a large tree as a barrier, and always give them a very, very wide berth. Number 5. The hippopotamus. Here we close the first loop. The animal that chased me into a river was, ironically, already in it. We were crossing a narrow channel on the Zambezi at night, a foolish move I'll never repeat. The water around our small boat began to boil. Then, a deep guttural grunt from directly behind us. My guide killed the motor instantly. We drifted in absolute silence, not daring to breathe, listening to the water lapping against the hull. The hippo surfaced again, this time to our side, a dark mountain of flesh in the moonlight. It was a territorial bull, and we were in his living room. Hippos are Africa's most dangerous large animal, responsible for more human fatalities than lions or crocodiles. They are deceptively fast on land and in water, and their jaws can bite a crocodile, or a small boat, in half. We drifted for what felt like an eternity before he lost interest. The lesson: never underestimate the water kings. Avoid narrow channels, especially at dawn, dusk and night. And always, always give them the right of way. Seeker, if you reached this far, you're my kind of explorer. You understand that the wild demands respect. I tell true survival stories like these every week. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next close call. I'm here to give you field-proven safety cues, real cases, and memory hooks you can actually use when you're out there. New stories drop every week. Now, a question to carry with you. Which animal do you fear least, but should perhaps fear more? Let's continue. Number 4. The elephant, an animal of profound intelligence and deep social bonds. But that intelligence is paired with immense power and a fiercely protective nature. I was on patrol in a dry riverbed in Namibia when we came upon a breeding herd. The matriarch, a magnificent old female with weathered skin and wise eyes, immediately turned to face us. Her ears fanned out, making her look twice as large. Her trunk went up, tasting the air, analyzing our scent. We froze. Any sudden movement would be seen as a threat. She took a step, then another, and stamped her front foot, raising a cloud of dust. It was an unmistakable warning. We began backing away, not directly but diagonally, using a large termite mound to break her line of sight. Protective matriarchs have been known to crush vehicles to defend their calves. The key is to show you are not a threat. Give them space, never block a herd's path, and if you get a warning, heed it immediately and retreat. Number 3. The grizzly bear. the undisputed sovereign of the North American wilderness. To see one is a privilege, to surprise one is a nightmare. I was on a huckleberry slope in Montana, the wind in my face. Then it shifted. A low chuffing sound came from the brush just ahead. A grizzly. It hadn't seen me, but it smelled me. It rose on its hind legs, a towering silhouette of muscle and fur, trying to identify the source of the scent. My training kicked in. I started speaking in a calm, low voice. "Hey, bear, I'm just passing through." I made myself look large, holding my pack up, and began backing away slowly, deliberately. My hand went to my belt, my fingers finding the safety clip on my bear spray. Do not run. Running triggers a predator's chase instinct. Bear spray has been proven to be incredibly effective, but only if you can deploy it. So, Seeker, I ask you, could you stand your ground for those 3 seconds that feel like an eternity, ready to act but praying you won't have to? Number 2. The saltwater crocodile, a prehistoric predator that has perfected the art of the ambush over millions of years. They are masters of patience and explosive violence. I was in a canoe, paddling along a mangrove edge in northern Australia as dusk settled. The water was like glass. Then I saw it, a subtle V-shaped ripple tracking parallel to us. No head, no body, just the undeniable signature of a large croc moving beneath the surface. A cold dread washed over me. We immediately stopped trailing our hands in the water and paddled hard for the center of the open channel, away from the tangled roots of the bank where an ambush is easiest. These estuarine crocodiles are opportunistic hunters, and a hand, an arm, or a person leaning over the edge of a boat is an invitation. Attacks are swift, silent, and devastating. The rules here are absolute. Stay far away from the water's edge, especially at dawn and dusk. Never swim in unmarked estuaries, and treat every body of water in their territory as if it holds a killer. And number 1, the honey badger. This closes our second loop. The animal that watched me from 5 meters away making no sound. That was the Cape buffalo. But the honey badger, it makes plenty of sound. It's a creature of pure distilled aggression. My encounter wasn't in the deep wild, but at a campsite. A small black and white animal was trying to get into a cooler. It wasn't just sniffing, it was attacking it, clawing and biting the plastic like it owed it money. We started banging pots and pans. Any other animal would have fled. The honey badger stopped, turned, and squared up to us. A group of humans, with a guttural hiss, completely unafraid. It held its ground for a moment before deciding we weren't worth the effort and trotted off into the darkness, unbothered. They are pound for pound one of the most fearless animals on the planet, known to take on lions, hyenas, and venomous snakes. The lesson here is profound. Danger isn't measured in size, it's measured in temperament. And the honey badger has enough bad attitude for an animal 10 times its size. And that brings me to the third loop. The one time I truly thought I wouldn't make it home. It was that grizzly. It didn't just stand up, it dropped to all fours and took a step toward me, 10 meters. At that distance, a charge would be over in a second. I kept my voice loud, my stance wide, my hand on the spray. "No, bear, get back!" I yelled. It took another step, and then, for a reason I will never know, it stopped. It looked at me for a long silent moment, then turned and ambled away. In that moment, as the adrenaline drained away, leaving only a profound shaking relief, all these lessons crystallized. Distance is life. A calm voice is a tool. A slow retreat is a strategy. Running is a death sentence. Reading their ears, their eyes, their posture, that is the language of survival. You, the one still here, who watched this to the very end, you get it. You're the reason I tell these stories. Watch more of my videos. I drop new stories every week. Tales from the edge where respect and knowledge are the only things that bring you home. If you're ready to travel smarter and come home every single time, subscribe now and dive into the next tale. Stay safe, Seeker.